Hey there, welcome to this tutorial for the Pitch app. Pitch is a app which is a tuner and metronome for any instrument, and that's what's really great about it. So it can really help you with your pitch awareness and developing the tuning for your voice. So we'll go right into it. So you can download it in the App Store. And we'll just open that up and we're going into the app here. And this is the main interface. What we might do is just have a look at settings. So just tap down the bottom left into settings and you'll see that there's all of this. You can pay for a subscription to this app, but you don't need that. You still get functionality without paying for it. So you can opt in or out of that as you see fit. It is a bit more limited if you don't pay, but it's still functional. So it's all good. Now, what you're going to mainly be concerned with is the tuning system. So you want to make sure if you are using it for your voice that you put it onto voice and that C is the reference pitch. And the pitch standard is 440 hertz. This is just going to work with most instruments like pianos, guitars, any really Western tuned instrument is going to work with the 440 hertz. Some people do like other tuning systems, but I don't personally believe there is necessary to change that. So, and it's the most flexible tuning system as well. So, what you might want to do is have a look at the response speed. Fast is probably the best because it's giving you the most accurate response. But if you want to see it move more slowly, you can change that to normal or slow. Mic sensitivity, probably about normal, but if you might need to play around with that if you're finding that the app can't hear you enough. And if you want to sing quietly, maybe you want to have it on high to so that the phone can hear you more clearly. The drone sound, you're going to want to use the sine wave. You could use a piano, but it dies away. The sound doesn't continue forever, which a sine wave will. Triangle wave will as well, but it's a less pleasant sound. So the sine wave is probably the most pleasant sound that you want to use. And then you get to change the metronome sounds. And there's a whole bunch in here that you can choose from. So I would just recommend going through that and choosing the ones that you like the sound of the most. I have Electro 1 for the downbeat, Clave 2 for the upbeat, and Switch 1 for the subdivision. If you want to try those to start with, you can give that a go. So now we're going to go into the practice screen at the bottom left. And this is where we're going to be doing our practice. So as you can see down the bottom, it says sound sine wave, which is what we set. You can actually change it there if you want to, but we're having it on sine wave. And then you've got the sustain option. I would put that on because it's going to mean that the sound will just continue and you won't have to keep playing it. So what you want to do to hear the sound, so what we've got is we've got a keyboard here and it's going from C4 to C5. So you can, if you want to press the C, let's make sure that's on sustain, you want to press the C and it's just going to sound that sine wave on the C note continuously. And what's great is that then if you sing along with that and try and match that sound, it's showing you where you are in relation to that C. So as you can see, I was slightly below, but I was close enough to it that it was resonant and harmonious. So as long as it sounds accurate enough, that's okay. You don't need to get it right in the middle. Like for example, if I try that, I can slide my voice to make that go into the green section, and that's really super accurate, which is great. And you can practice doing that, and I could probably even do that and improve my pitch. But if you're in the green or even slightly in the orange, the yellow or the orange, that's probably going to still be close enough. If you're in the red, that's probably a bit out, and that's going to be really noticeable. So, as you can see, I'm kind of in the green and slightly yellow, and that's perfectly fine. So you can go up. So I press that C again, and it stops, and I can go up to the D and do the same. if you find that you're not quite sure if you're getting the note, what you can do is slide your voice around. So I could recommend going and just sliding your voice slowly. It'll be quite subtle, but it's really good practice to be able to have the flexibility to slide your voice around like that. And you'll find that you will be able to come into the note perhaps a little easier, and you'll be able to see and feel with that visual reference where that note should sit in your body, in your pitch ladder, in your face, in your mouth, in your nose, in your teeth, wherever, or your throat, wherever you can feel that vibration the most. As an example, if I slide around a lot, I might go, you can see it's moving through all of the notes. So it can be a fun exercise to slide around and sort of see where you land. But really probably the best application of this app is just to go through each note as we were doing. And practice matching those tones. So you see how the note playing is F, but when I sing, it's showing me that I'm singing E, so I'm not in the right place. If I want to be on F, it needs to say F. So if you're singing a little below on the E, for example, you need to slide your voice up until what you're seeing on the screen is the F. And also you might have noticed there when my voice went into vibrato, it started wobbling around a bit and changing the notes, which is perfectly understandable because vibrato actually does that. It actually is a change in pitch. So that's the basic function of how to use this. Now you could, if you wanted to, also use the metronome. I'll just give you a really quick overview on how to use this. This is what the play and pause button is for. So you can change the number of beats, you can change the beats per minute, and you can change the subdivision. I'll just explain what each of these are. Beats per minute is actually how many clicks per minute. So let's say we put it on 4, and I'm going to just put the subdivision on 1 so that you can hear that. So that pace that beat is going at is 100 beats per minute. If I put that up, it goes faster. If I put it down, it goes slower. So that's the beats per minute. And we have a beat grouping of 4 here. So we could change that to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can change it to 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. We can have it on 4 as we had before. And you can do other beats as well. You can do 5, 6, 7, and so on. There's really lots of things you can do with that. But most of the time you're going to be on either 3 or 4. The subdivision brings in an extra beat in between, which divides that beat up into 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Each of those beats has 2 sub beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's a subdivision of 3. That's a subdivision of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the time, you're not going to use that. You're just going to keep it on 1 because it keeps things simple. But there are some times when you might want to use the 2 or even the 3 or 4, depending on what it is you're working on. But I just recommend for at this point, just keep it simple, keep it on the one, and when you find a use for the other subdivisions, you can apply them at the time. So that is really an overview of this app, how to use it, how to use each of the sounds, and because it's on sustain, it's going to sustain all of them until you turn them off. So just make sure that you do that. Another thing that you can do to emulate a Shruti box, for example, is to create a drone with 3 notes, and that's just going to give a little bit more of a rich sound that you can work with. You could also create a chord, for example, a C major chord or a C minor chord, just depending on what you need to use it for, or just a fifth, just the C and the G, or just the C and the F, for example. There's lots of different ways you can use this. You can have a play, and also it will depend on what you're working on, what's recommended for you in your practice, to help you with whatever it is that you're helping to develop. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you enjoy the app, and good luck with your pitch tuning practice.